Hey, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Chastity. Here we talk about beauty, entertainment, celebrities, books, movies, anime, TV shows, and kind of anything else that garners my attention this week. So, hi, Editing Chastity here. I forgot to mention that over my Patreon, I have a video on Brandon Blackwell. He is a black fashion designer who is under a lot of heat for the quality of some of his handbags. We will also be discussing whether or not black businesses garner much harsher critiques than white-owned conglomerates. So if any of that interests you, check out my Patreon. Link to that will be in the pinned comment below. So today we are going to discuss Dababy and DaniLeigh. Now the last time we spoke about DaniLeigh over here on my channel, it was when she released a snippet of that god-awful song Yellow Bone What He Want, a song basically saying that all niggas want is a light-skinned woman. They don't like dark-skinned women. They want a yellow bone, which, as we discussed in that video, Danny is not black. Not even in our faintest imaginations is she black, therefore non-yellow bone. But okay. That song was actually like a sub to Dababy's other baby mama, who is a dark-skinned woman. Her and Danny have been going at it since they got together. We will discuss that a little bit later. But following that horrific song, Yellow Bones What He Wants, him and Danny subsequently broke up. And then much later on, it was announced that she was pregnant. Now, during that time of her pregnancy, there was a point in time where, like, she was very poorly hiding the fact that she was pregnant. And I think a lot of people on Twitter were like, we caught your tea, you're pregnant. And she was like, I'm not pregnant, what are you talking about? And, like, it was very similar to, like, when Summer Walker was pregnant. And you remember, like, Summer Walker was like, girl, I just ate. But everyone on the internet was like, no, we think you're pregnant. And then, lo and behold, a few months later, announced pregnancy. Danny had a very similar treatment on the internet. The internet for months were like, we know you're pregnant, girl. Give it up, which I don't particularly like that. Like pregnancy is such a very intimate thing. Let people tell you they're pregnant on their own time. But I understand people just be nosy and just wanting to be right. And also, it just felt like after everything that happened, her being pregnant was just like the obvious thing that would happen in a situation like this. Again, we'll get into that much later. So let's fast forward to last night, right? So I come home, I see Dababy trending. I knew it was for some bullshit because that man don't ever trend for anything good. And I see like snippets of his Instagram live, and on this live, him and Danny, who is feeding their 3-month-old daughter, are arguing and fighting, and like Dababy seemingly is trying to make Danny and the baby leave his home. I guess he wanted to record her to cover his tracks, but that was the case. He actually did not need to go on Instagram Live. He could have just simply recorded her. I think putting her on live was just to humiliate her. Personally, that's my feelings, because you can record someone without having to go on live. And then after he recorded her, he called the police to have Danny and the baby like escorted out of his home. At one point, the baby does state that like he's recording her for his safety. I don't know how scared he was of a woman with a 3-month-old baby feeding it. Did he think that she was gonna chuck the little nigga at him? I don't really know, but apparently he was afraid for his life. So after going on live, Dababy posted this statement. I would like to swiftly remove myself from this hostile behavior put on display moments ago. This here thing has gone far enough for Shorty to crash out on her own, and it saddens me because I still have the queen to raise. The last hour has been documented for my safety and business done based on my reputation. With multiple threats of setting up an internet scheme and person refusing to not let me go, me and somebody else here knew to record her. I done been beat on and yelled at and chased around like one of them fatal love attraction type of girls. But I knew to keep it together. And then like in the same post, it's talking about like anyone that does business with me wants to hit me up for more clarification. And then he also in the same post promotes his tour. Dababy also states that he did not press any charges, but then like the following post after the statement, he's again promoting his tour. Now, Danny had put out her own statement, and pray for me as I try to read this. Hey guys, since Baby want to put up a statement with his cap ass, I'll put mine up. So, we've been living with each other for the past 3 months since our baby been born. Doing us. And tonight he want to come in the room talking about I need to go. Don't matter where I go. Mind you, I have a newborn child. So he said I can go to a hotel. I don't know why there's so many ellipses. For what? Anyways, this man is mad because I had a plan B sent to his condo. I'm gonna hold my tongue. Because all he want to do is come in me with no responsibility. Obviously, he probably want me out so he can fuck on his baby mother and other hoes. Who been known we've been together this whole time. Well, I just had my first child. This all goes to say that this man is a fucking coward. I'm sleeping after cooking him dinner and he wanna say I need to go. Fuck you, baby. And damn, I really should have just listened to the cat-ass internet about this man. I'ma learn, I'ma grow. But this right here ain't it. And I'm sorry to my baby that her father is kicking her out of her home at 3 months. So that's pretty much everything that had happened last night. And then also, like, Dababy had posted some videos on his IG story. Now, I'm going to start with Dababy because at no point in any of his statements, any of his videos, did he make it clear that, like, he was only kicking Danny out and the baby could stay. So it seems to me that, like, he was kicking out his 3-month-old child and Danny. And that's where I have a problem. Whatever issues you have with that child's mother sticks between the child's mother. But at no point did he make it apparent that he wanted to keep his baby. He seemed perfectly fine with his 3-month-old child having no place to stay. Because not at one point did he say, leave the baby with me, but you gotta go. Not once. And in any of his subsequent statements that he clarified that he never intended to kick the baby out too, that it was just Danny. It seemed like there was a package deal. You go, baby go. Which I think is disgusting that any man would leave his child to have no place to sleep. A 3-month-old baby should not be in a hotel. They should be in a home being taken care of by both their parents. It really did feel like Dababy was just using this situation to get clout and grow his tour. Like, he did not seem at all concerned about his child, but finding a way to use this to promote himself. So let's move on to Danny. I feel bad for her, and I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for her because she's 3 months postpartum, and I don't think men understand, like, how much postpartum affects women. And I don't think men give a shit about how postpartum affects women, but it is a bitch and it is horrible to deal. So I do feel bad for her having to deal with this so soon after having a baby. Where I don't feel bad for her is from the moment her and the baby been together, it's been kind of known that, yeah, they were together, but he was still messing with his baby mama. And you could tell that he was still messing with her by the way Mimi was acting towards Danny. If you ever want to figure out the relationship between a man and his baby mama when you get together, if she's extremely hostile and she don't like you off rip, just know they were having sex up until you got together, or they're continuing to have sex while you two are together. Because when there's no sex between a baby daddy and baby mama, they're usually both fine when they move on. But when one of them moves on and they're having sex with each other, that's usually when the hostility towards the new person comes in. So it was very obvious that Dababy was still messing with his baby mama while he was with Danny. And I think she pretty much knew because Mimi made it very clear that this man was still sleeping with her. Posted him up in her house, all that. She made it very clear that yes, he was publicly running around with Danny, but he came back to her. And then, after him and Danny had been together for a little bit, it came out that he got another woman pregnant. So he has his first baby mama, who he is running around behind your back to sleep with. And then he gets a whole separate woman pregnant. And Danny thinks it's a great idea to also have a baby with this man. And that's where my sympathy for her stops. You decided to have unprotected sex with a man that's clearly having unprotected sex with multiple other women. You put yourself in danger for what? For what? Danny is a great example of a specific type of woman who believes she is better than other women. That just because that man cheated on you, had a baby on you, beat on you, don't mean he's going to do those things to me. Actually, he would never do those things to me because I'm so much better than you. Those women are delusional. Those women have all of the facts that these men are terrible, but believe whether it's because they are of a lighter skin tone, they have a specific body type, they're pretty, that these men who have a track record of being terrible to other women could never possibly be terrible to them. That they're better than those other women. They have so much more going for them than those other women. Those women are very blind, very stupid, very bird brain. Because if a man shows you who he is, believe him. Again, this idea that you're so much better than other women, that is not true. You're not better than anyone. Okay? Your pussy is not magical. That won't stop him from cheating on you. That won't stop him from being terrible. If he's a terrible man, that has nothing to do with you. There is nothing you could possibly ever do to make this terrible man stop being a terrible man. But those women don't care. They think they are leaps and bounds better than any of his old women, and that they will never be treated like them. And then a year later, they're in the exact same miserable situations as the baby mama. Summer Walker is another great example of that. London on the Track's baby mamas were telling her, girl, you don't want none of these problems. And Summer felt like she was so much better than them. And then now look at her a year later in the exact same miserable situation with London, like his other 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. There's nothing you can gain from thinking you're better than other women. If a man has shown you he ain't shit, believe him. Believe him. That goes for anybody. If anybody has shown you their true colors, please believe them. Later, Danny does go on Instagram Live to give her side of the story. And she mentions that since the birth of her child, her and the baby have been living together. And also mentions that since she decided to raise her baby with him, I guess if she had a home in LA, she no longer had it and she has no place to stay. Which I feel like makes the baby even worse. Like, you know that the mother of your child has nowhere to take your baby and you still kick her out. Again, don't even offer for the baby to stay with you. Like, you ask for both of them to get the fuck out. Danny also gets into it with the baby's first baby mama, Mimi. And it's just very sad to watch these two beautiful women fight to be birds. Like, the baby does not want to be in monogamous relationships with either of you. Why are y'all fighting? Like, he's going to continue to sleep with other women. He's going to continue to get other women pregnant. What prize are y'all consistently fighting over? To be top baby mama? Like, that's not something to be proud of. So even though Dababy had threatened to kick her out, she never left. And then this morning, again, they were fighting on Instagram Live. And it seems like Danny a better person than me. Because I would have broke that nigga phone. If every time we are trying to have a conversation, you want to pull out your phone to go on live, it is one thing to uncover your tracks. Fine, record us. But you don't need to go on Instagram Live. Going on Instagram Live turns into a spectacle. It feels like he was putting on a show and not actually taking any of this serious. And then, as they continue to fight, he says that him and her were never actually together and that she was a quote-unquote certified side bitch. I don't know how the spirit of Left Eye did not find its way into this girl body, because it would have taken everything in me not to toss that nigga phone as soon as he said that. She's a much better person than I am, because you simply are not going to disrespect me like this. Again, on live, when this is an actual private matter between the two of us, you want to go on Instagram Live to put on a show? Because it felt like this was like his own personal reality show, when it didn't need to be like this. Because one thing about Danny, she is very private. Like, I will give her that. She don't go on social media talking too much. She don't. She keeps things between her and whoever's happening in her life. So, like, I feel like you didn't really have to worry about her running social media. I don't think so. Because she never did. She never has. Now, I do feel bad for Danny, but again, not too bad for her, because all the red flags were there and you decided to treat it like Six Flags. You decided to still have a baby with this man. And after the baby was born, at one point she said, like, he was not part of her pregnancy. So then why move in with him? Like, he could be a part of your child's life without y'all living together. Like, people do it every day. She was making so many dumb decisions. I feel like she loves very hard, and maybe that's why. You know, because her parents are married, and I feel like she probably wants something very similar to what her parents had. But the issue is you're not going for a good man. Dababy at not one point has shown us that he is a good man. But again, she thought she was better than Mimi. She thought she was better than all the other women Dababy's ever messed with. And that was her downfall. Thinking a nigga won't treat you like how he treats every other woman in his life. So, that's it for me. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on this whole situation? Let's all come together and pray for this baby. A blessing brought into a curse situation. As said by YouTuber Loho, I feel so bad for this little girl. She did not ask for none of this, and she is already getting kicked out of her home by her daddy. 3 months old. Getting kicked out by her daddy. But yeah, that's it for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.